Canon Controls is your gateway to mastering LabVIEW. Dive into programming for data acquisition, industrial communications, and manufacturing automation. Explore how to enhance your projects with cybersecurity best practices. Join the journey to elevate your skills and secure your systems with every episode.
Hey everybody, so today I wanted to highlight kind of some of the stuff we can do with Asciidoc in LabVIEW. Beyond just documenting your, I think a lot of times when we think of Asciidoc, we think of what comes with like Antidoc, where we can kind of generate documentation automatically of LabVIEW code, whether that be like DQMH modules or classes or whatever that might be. Just wanted to show how this can be used for a whole bunch of other things, and share kind of how I've done some of that stuff in the past. So wanted to highlight one example to begin. Here I just have this, is actually a portfolio of just stuff that I've worked on, and it's 100% generated using Asciidoc in LabVIEW, and it does a whole bunch of cool stuff for me. So it creates this kind of title page, a little bit about me, creates an awesome table of contents that is all clickable, navigatable, whatnot, and is able to break down all this stuff into different sections. So I have a background section. I can go view different LabVIEW projects. I can expand those and see those LabVIEW projects. CAD, and system design if I want to see different, kind of things there. And a certificate section. And this is all my implementation. You 100% can, do whatever you want, lay this out however you want. But yeah, you can write really cool PDFs really easily. And this way as well, and whenever I finish a new project, I have it set up where I can just basically add a text file with some notes about what the project was and a picture, and just rerun this code and it'll update my portfolio, so I now have the new project in it. So it makes it easy for me. So yeah, just wanted to kind of show you what this code looks like. It's not anything crazy, but basically here you can enter your name, whoever's making the portfolio, a title you want to give it. So like if you look at mine, this is a control systems engineer and LabVIEW enthusiast. Email if you want to, you can leave it blank if you don't want an email in there. And then I also have this field for a bio. You can either check yes or no, and a bio being just basically this background information. So it's just looking for a text file at a certain location with info about you. So you can say, hey, this is who I am, this is my education, my experience, etc. And it will auto-populate these fields down here with folders that are relative to this VI. So this is where I can store information in different groups. So like if I want, like I have a LabVIEW project section, I have a CAD design, etc. And so it's going to list all these folder names. I can check whether I want to use that folder or not. And then I can also assign it a different title in my portfolio if I want to, and those titles would be what shows up here, like LabVIEW projects, CAD system design, etc. And then I also have this used text description. So in each of these folders, it's looking for an image file, and then it's also looking for a .text file named the same thing as the image. So if I have both, it'll put the image there, and it will also put a description of what that project was, what the requirements were, etc. But sometimes I don't necessarily want a description. Like a good example I would say would be on certificates. I don't really care to put a description for the certificate because it's kind of, self-explanatory, right? The certificate kind of tells you what it is, like LabVIEW Core 3. Well, I don't really care too much to know much beyond its LabVIEW Core 3. So yeah, you can kind of check that whether you want descriptions or not. And once you've got everything configured, you can create the portfolio. One other thing I guess I forgot to mention, and I can load this so you can see. So it loaded these 3 folders. By default, it's going to go here to here to here. Have this set up so you can drag and drop to reorder. So I can put things wherever I want them. So I can reorganize these things. For certificates, I maybe don't want a text description, or if I want to make a version of this portfolio and not even include certificates for some reason on this one, maybe I like it there sometimes, but not always, I can just turn it off and these won't be included at all. And yeah, I can change all of these to, whatever I want, and just click create portfolio once I'm done. And there's some instructions here, so nothing crazy. Let's look at what the code looks like. So initially, we're just listing folders relative to our VI, our main VI, and filtering out some of these things that I don't want to show up. And you can add more on this list if you want. So like sub VIs, for example, well, that's like these different functions here that I just don't want to show up. I don't want to have to uncheck them every time. Pending add, that way if I've got some stuff that I'm not quite ready to put in yet, I can put it there and it won't be included. Dependencies, don't want to include that. The bio, I have that button that selects whether they include that or not, so I don't want that there. Same with additional resources. So, and this just creates that list at the bottom. When you go to actually create your document, this is where the Asciidoc stuff comes in. Our create document is pretty simple. We're just creating a document, and I've kind of defined some of this stuff as constants, so it's not editable. And then I'm writing in just that name and email there. For the bio, is pretty simple. We're just reading a text file named bio.txt, and then putting that into the document, creating a paragraph and adding that as a section into our document. It's pretty simple. And if you've selected no bio, then it just skips this entirely. Now we're writing each section of our document. So we are going to create a section, add it to our document. And so this is going to be like LabVIEW projects, for example, or I had CAD and system design. And then in that section, it's going to create a whole bunch of subsections. So this is all the stuff that is indented in on your table of contents. So it's going to grab a PNG file, insert the PNG file, and then look for a text file in the same location. Read the contents of the text file and write it to that same page. And so these here are basically a new page indicator in Asciidoc. So it's just telling it to move on to the next page. So that way you don't have like image on one page and text on another. Each page is an image and it's text, and it moves on to the next, starts a new page after each subsection. So that's basically the code there. And then that's pretty much it. At the end, we're just generating our Asciidoc and then rendering that to a PDF. Likewise, you could also render that to like HTML5 if you wanted to. But that's pretty much it. Then, that's pretty much all that it is. Asciidoc, super simple to work with. You can do really cool stuff and make really cool PDFs. So we can have, you could use it for like a portfolio. Could use it for, obviously code documentation is the common use case, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be pretty much whatever you want. You could use it for, just about anything. Any document you want to render programmatically. If this makes sense, here's a good template to use to create that code. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. And if there are any questions on using this on Asciidoc, just feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to answer those. Thank you. Bye.